the night, you could feel the same. And maybe if you treat me right, we could rearrange. But I'm not even gonna try if you don't wanna stay. So how's it gonna be? You got me on my knees. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure from you. A little closure, babe. Oh, a little closure, little closer from you. I don't need no roses on my bed. If I could pull you closer to me, babe, ain't nobody touch me like you can. I just need some closure, a little closure. I don't need no
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, people.
Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth and not care who doesn't like it. James, you look like you got some free hands over there. How you doing this morning?
I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what to.
Everybody,
I'm good, brother Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Where were we? I guess it was the Patron party Friday night. Somebody was like, Ben, when you gonna get James a real microphone? They called your other microphone a karaoke microphone, bro. I was like, wait a minute.
And the bad part about it, dude, it's a Shure microphone, a wireless. It's the best mic on the market, dude.
It is high key the same mechanics, but anyway, it's besides point. The microphone is in, and it does sound better. The microphones that you got now, they are designed for the internet, so it's that much better. But good morning to everyone who's watching across all the platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Hit the share, like, and subscribe button. And tell everybody about Like It or Not. We have a lot of news to cover, and actually, James, it starts with this gas crisis. I'm calling it a crisis because I can't get no gas, man.
You can't get no
I'm down. I have not been able to get any gas for 3 days, since this all started. And I'm almost down on fumes. Now, I might end up having to siphon off the gas out of one of my cars that is broken, my car that's broken down in the driveway.
Okay.
It still got gas in it. So I might have to siphon off some gas just to be able to make it through the weekend, because there is a shortage, despite the fact that the gas pipeline is back up. The Colonial Pipeline is back and up and running after the ransomware attack. The gas prices are soaring, and there's still a shortage as things try to get back to normal. Gas stations across the East Coast are running out of gas as hoarders are driving a possible shortage in fuel in reaction to the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack that shut down the critical flow of gas to the East Coast. Now, there is not a shortage of gas, but for all of the hoarding that we've been seeing across the country. The price of gas topped $3 per gallon for the first time in nearly 6 years. And I want us to also keep in mind that the cost of fuel is impacted not only by the ransomware attack, but it's also impacted by all of the panic buying that we've seen across the South, where we saw people filling up plastic bags of gasoline, filling up trash cans of gasoline, filling up just containers that are sure to explode at some point because of the level of ignorance that happens in this country. They're filling it up with gasoline, and that is also driving not only the shortage, but the increase in price. Yesterday, the corporate operators of the pipeline released a statement saying the company had restarted, had begun to resume operations, but it would take, quote unquote, several days until fuel deliveries return to normal. On the other side of the issue, President Joe Biden signed an executive order yesterday aimed at addressing the country's vulnerability to cyber attacks in the wake of the ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline. According to NBC News, quote, the executive order requires IT service providers to share certain breach information with the government, modernizes and implements stronger cybersecurity standards in the federal government, establishes security standards for development of software sold to the government, and will create an Energy Star label that consumers can better determine whether software has been developed securely. Now, meanwhile, as President Biden actively seeks to remedy a problem that was created by the free markets, Republicans are seizing on the opportunity to blame him for the gas shortage that, as we've discussed, is both the product of the ransomware attack as well as the ridiculous hoarding that we've seen. But these facts did not prevent House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy from trying to attack Joe Biden on the issue. Let's listen in.
Here, but you won't find any Republicans going to go raise taxes. I think that's the worst thing you can do in this economy when you watch inflation. Your gas is going up. Remember, gas price today, national gas price, has not been this high since President Biden was vice president.
So the gas price, and this is Kevin McCarthy, and this is a claim, James, that we've seen all across social media. Republicans are picking this up because they're counting on people not being able to tell the cause. And I'm going to be honest with you, when people go to the gas stations and they see that there's no gas, or they see that the gas prices are high, if they have not been paying attention to the issue, well, it could 100% fall at the feet of Joe Biden, and Republicans are counting on that. They're counting on their voters. They're counting on the people in general to not be aware of what's happening in the world. And so they're just simply trying to lay the blame at I almost went through every name. I almost just said Donald Trump. I almost just said Barack Obama, but it's President Joe Biden. Now, I don't particularly care who gets blamed for what. What I do care about is that this is just another day in the type of propaganda that the Republican Party runs on this country to the detriment of this country. Now, this issue of the shortage of gas and the gas prices should regulate itself as the pipeline opens up. But it really just strikes me as part and parcel of the problem in this country, which is half-truths, propaganda, and outright lies being spewed from the highest of positions in this country. And we see that we have all of the problems that we have in the Democratic Party. For all the issues that they have, we are dealing on the other side of the equation with a group of people who absolutely have no regard whatsoever for the truth, have no regard whatsoever for the well-being of their own voters, and certainly don't have any regard for the well-being of American citizens who don't support their ideology. But here we are still particularly in the Southeast, we're still struggling with this gas shortage until the pipeline restores all the flows. And between now and then, James, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm holding on to this gas. The last few miles that I have left in this car, I'm holding on to it so I can go get this shot tomorrow, the second vaccine shot tomorrow. So if I run out of gas, it's going to be at the location where I'm getting this shot, because I got to get that shot. But you sound like you good on gas.
Yeah, man. I went that day. I texted you and Rebecca. Was it yesterday? Day before yesterday?
Day before,
I went on and put like maybe 20 in there just so I can have it, just so it's sitting there. But yeah, I don't. When I tell you I don't go anywhere, I go get food, and that's it. And go to the store and get Black and Miles. That's it.
The essentials. You got to make sure you gotta make sure that you got some. Hey, man, you got to get the stuff that helps you get through this pandemic. As for me, it's
absolutely.
We're cooking at home again because we can't go anywhere and get no food. So I guess, but it'll get back to normal probably by next week. I just got to make sure that I can get to this location tomorrow with my family for us to get the second. Well, me and my wife to get the second shot, and then make sure that we can get back home. But if we do that, we're gonna be riding on faith, man. We're gonna be riding on fumes. Like,
right?
Ain't nothing. I got just enough gas, and I looked at it. I tried to go pick up some food yesterday for the family because we didn't feel like cooking, and I was on, like, I don't want to say the numbers of miles that I had left because people are gonna be like, Ben, you should know better. But I left the house with like 80 miles left in the car, and I was like, okay, I could run up the street and get some food. The line was so long, I had to get out of the line and come back home. I got 50 miles left. That's it. I got 50 miles left, and I got to go 8 of them to go get this shot tomorrow. and then 8 of them to get back. But as soon as I roll into that parking lot, I'm going to cut the engine off and just let it roll into the parking space.
Hey, Ben.
Ben, you got about 75 miles left. Depending on your car, you probably got about 25 in that reserve tank that it don't tell you about.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say
Listen.
the same thing, Dwayne.
Look, listen, I don't want to push it because I am not. Because what we going to do? We going to call an Uber? I ain't calling Uber, put my family in no car with no Uber right now. I honestly, I don't know how people even doing Uber. Like, shout out to everyone who's having to drive for Uber. So protect yourself. But man, like, nah, I can't risk it. So we going to roll in. But I am going to go get that shot. Now, if I got to walk over there, if we got to take a family walk for 8 miles, we getting that second Pfizer shot tomorrow, man. I ain't playing with that.
Right.
Anyway, let's keep going with a little bit more news over on Capitol Hill. Yesterday began the hearings into the January 6th Capitol insurrection, in which Donald Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in hopes of overturning the election results of November 2020. Former Trump administration officials testified before the House Oversight Committee, including former acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller, who was at the time responsible for deploying the necessary troops to protect the Capitol from the attack. That support ultimately never came. Here's the first exchange between Democratic Representative Rahm Emanuel and former acting Secretary of Defense Christopher Miller. Listen as the congressman declares that the former Trump official was absent without leave, AWOL.
Yes.
On January 6th, according to your statement, you became aware sometime on or before 1:30 p.m. that day that the rioters breached the perimeter of the Capitol, right?
Yes.
According to a DOD-created timeline, at 1:34 p.m., Mayor Bowser called Army Secretary McCarthy to request, quote-unquote, additional forces to respond to the Capitol. According to page 8 of your statement, at 3:04 p.m., so 1.5 hours later, you authorized mobilizing the D.C. National Guard and providing these additional forces. That constituted a gap of 1.5 hours. During that 1.5-hour gap, why did you and the secretary disobey the president's order to give the mayor the support she requested?
She already had the support she requested. What's your question, sir?
Sir, she requested additional support. You see this mayhem and pictures of insurrection on January 6th? She requested additional support from you. And during that 1.5 hours, either you disobeyed an order given to you by the president to help Mayor Bowser, or the president changed his order and asked you to delay support, or you just plain froze and were indecisive while people were being injured, killed, while hundreds of rioters breached the Capitol, and a nation was traumatized. Sir, because of your actions,
there were 8,000 badged and credentialed police officers on duty.
And you weren't there.
The United States Armed Forces should only be used as a last resort.
You were AWOL, Mr. Secretary. You were AWOL. Remember,
that's completely
as you said
inaccurate.
before,
That's completely inaccurate.
As you said before, you have responsibility for everything. Something goes wrong, quote unquote, I own it completely, 110%. Sir, you partially own this mayhem. And that's why I'm going to ask for a DOD investigation into your actions. Thank you.
Now, the day didn't get any better for that former Trump official, Christopher Miller, after Congressman Ro Khanna demanded an apology from him to the American people because of how Miller let down the American people on January 6th. Let's take a listen in.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Secretary Miller, I have never been more offended on this committee by a witness statement than yours. You were more concerned about defending your own reputation and justifying your own actions than the sanctity of this Capitol and the sanctity of our democracy. Have you no sense of accountability? No sense of shame? Secretary Miller, I want to ask you today, will you at the very least apologize to the American public for what happened on your watch?
I want to highlight the incredible job that the members of our armed forces and the civilians.
Miller, I agree with you about the armed forces. Secretary Miller, it's my time. Your pugnacious style is not going to override the democratic process. Learn to respect it. My question isn't about our troops or our armed forces. Everyone recognizes they're extraordinary. My question is about your incompetence in leading them. Will you apologize to the American public for what happened on your watch? Will you apologize to the troops for what happened on your watch?
The Department of Defense and our members of the armed forces performed magnificently on January 6th.
Secretary, no one is questioning what they did. By questioning what you did, is it your testimony that you refuse to apologize to the American public for what happened?
I stand by every decision I made on January 6th.
So you think you did everything perfectly? Just like the president said he did everything perfectly in his calls. Is that your testimony? You did everything perfectly, no mistakes?
I want to highlight again that the armed forces should only be used for domestic law enforcement.
Is it your testimony that you did everything perfectly? Is that your view?
I am the most critical person. I'm a career special operator.
Now, in an attempt to rewrite the history of January 6th, Republicans on the House Oversight Committee outright lied about the events of the Capitol insurrection, including Representative Andrew Clyde of Georgia's 9th Congressional District, and where he said that there was no insurrection at all on January 6th. He went further. Let's take a listen in.
Let me be clear. There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
He actually said that if you only saw the video, then you would have believed that it was just a normal day, a normal tour. Now, anyone with an ounce of integrity who witnessed the events of January 6th knows exactly how much a lie this elected congressman is giving to the American people. But just in case you need a refresher, here again are the words of Representative Andrew Clyde, the Republican from Georgia. And it is juxtaposed side by side with the video from the insurrection. And this compilation was put together by J.I.V. Durkee on Twitter. Let's take a look.
There was no insurrection, and to call it an insurrection, in my opinion, is a bold-faced lie. Watching the TV footage of those who entered the Capitol and walked through Statuary Hall showed people in an orderly fashion staying between the stanchions and ropes taking videos and pictures. You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
But it actually got worse. One Republican, Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar, went so far as to say that the insurrectionists that are currently being investigated and facing felony charges from the DOJ, he said that no, these people are actually being harassed by the DOJ, not being held accountable for the insurrection. Let's take a listen in.
Madam Chairwoman, my constituents demand answers, but the truth is being censored and covered up. As a result, the DOJ is harassing peaceful patriots across the country. Without accurate answers, conspiracies continue to form.
So there you have it. You have half of the Oversight Committee, or the portion that the Republican Party has. They are outright rejecting the idea that there was even an insurrection. Never mind the chaos, never mind the breach, never mind the fact that they broke into Speaker Pelosi's office and stole her laptop, never mind the fact that officers were killed, never mind the fact all of the damage and all of the chaos. They want us to ignore what we saw. They want us to ignore what we saw with our eyes and what we witnessed. And the problem is that they have constituents, they have supporters who are so committed to their cause that they can look at the truth and lie about it. They can look at the sky being blue and say that it's green. They can look at the grass being green and say that it's blue, because what's more important to them is not the truth. What's important to them is having cheap political victories. And in this case, it is to outright lie about the insurrection. James, I'm thinking and I'm looking at these elected officials. I was going to call them like liars, But I think I got to preface that with the fact that these are elected officials who are being paid top dollar to go to Washington, D.C. and outright lie to us. Never mind, not even thinking about the first part of this segment where that Trump's appointee, the former acting Secretary of Defense, allowed this to happen because he stood down. He did not send the troops. He did not do what we would have seen done had any of those people been Black Lives Matter activists, or if any of them had been like left-wing activists. The military would have been in there so quick. The National Guard would have been in there so quick. Setting that aside, man, these Republicans, they're just outright lying, and there's almost like nothing that we could do about it because their constituents support the lies. It's wild, man.
Man, these people are delusional, dude. It's just like, did you really just say that it just looks like a regular day, like you're just touring the Capitol building? Did you really fix your mouth to say that? All this video that's out? Cool. Yeah. Okay. Can't believe this, bro.
It's wild, man, because it's to the point. It is to the point where we can't even break through with the truth because the people who are doing the lying are on the largest platforms. They have the most money. They are in elected positions. They have authority. They have power. They have reach. And here we are. It's difficult to get the truth out to the masses when all of the platforms are peddling the lies. And so, and to what extent does it matter? I mean, it matters because that was just a test run. If Republicans and these white supremacists who make up their base don't get their way politically, they have made it clear that they're 100% willing to overthrow this government. If this government, by any chance, if the American empire, by any chance of history and luck, falls underneath the control of people who are not white supremacists, they are willing to burn this country to the ground before they see black people actually run this empire, right? Like actually make changes that are for the betterment of humanity. They would burn this country to the ground. And so it matters because what happened on January 6th was just the test run. They will absolutely overthrow this government if they cannot get their way. And they are aided and abetted by elected officials who sit in our temples in Washington, D.C., and they lie to the entire nation. And they get away with it because there's so many people who support that madness and that white supremacy. James, take us to a quick break. When we come back, we want to cover a little bit more of national news, and then we're going to go to some other issues, more like it or not, after this.
Good morning again, everybody. I don't know what to do with my hands this morning. This is all brand new, but it just makes me feel like I'm at the radio station. Like, oh yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. You are now rocking with the sounds of DJ Exclusive. I like that. Good morning again, y'all, everyone. Make sure that you join the Like It or Not Patreon account. Like It or Not Patreon is patreon.com/like it or not. Patreon.com/like it or not. Good morning, mama and daddy. I hope y'all enjoying y'all day down there in Miami. Good morning, Sensation. Alicia, good morning. Brother Lateef, good morning, good morning. Alicia, I appreciate that. Wayne, you stupid. Don't get me started here, y'all know I act up. Seven, sweetheart, I know I missed the hand mic already too. It's just like, oh. Maybe this is how I do the show the whole time instead, because ain't nothing coming through this microphone. I'm just gonna hold this mic too, so I have my comfort. It's comfortable. It's home. Shout out to everybody that's in the chat room, streaming this wherever you streaming from. We appreciate y'all. Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, y'all. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lateef said this is the security mic. Hustler. I'll find out who it is and I'll let you know. This is from the archives of copyright music, so I'll let you know. I found it the other day, so I'm like, oh, let's play this classic. All right, y'all, we're going to come back to Ben in a few here, but before we do, let's go ahead and get these new patrons named out. These are the patrons that subscribed yesterday. I want you always to remember, anything that I read about a new Patreon member or a new patron member, these are the members that joined the day before. So our new patron members from May 13th, or in other words, the ones that joined Wednesday, May 12th, we have Aaron H., Sakaya H., Lily B., Linnell D., HB. New Twitch subscribers, we have Z Aether. What's going on, Z Aether? Who subscribed for 6 months in advance. We appreciate you so much. And also a special thank you to Nico Suris for rating our Twitch channel yesterday with a party of 27 viewers. Nico Suris, you are the man, woman, person, you the you. Okay, we appreciate you very much, sir. Keep it up, keep it up, keep it up, y'all. More like it or not, y'all back to Ben.
Welcome back to Like It or Not. James, someone just sent a comment. I'll read this comment so people don't think it's too self-serving for you, but I will read it. There's a comment from Twitch, highlighted on Twitch from Jammed Tomb 63958 saying, "Thanks for giving us the good music and the feels, Bubba. These breaks are gold." There you go, man.
Thank you. Oh, I'm blushing. You can't see all the facial hair and all the black assness, okay?
Oh, man, let's get right back into it. House Republicans have decided, and they voted to ditch Liz Cheney. Republicans voted to remove Liz Cheney from her position in the House Republican Caucus. The reason for her ouster was simply this: she refused to submit to the will of Donald Trump as leader of the Republican Party. Now, to be sure, and I will give this caveat anytime we talk about her, Liz Cheney is still a warmongering, vote-suppressing, anti-science Republican who stands against progress for humanity and in favor of tax breaks for the rich. Yet somehow, this poor excuse for a human being, Liz Cheney, still manages to be the very best the Republican Party has to offer. I want us to take a quick listen into what she had to say just after the vote took place yesterday. And she really made it clear where she stands on the issue. Let's take a listen in.
The nation needs it. The nation needs a strong Republican Party. The nation needs a party that is based upon fundamental principles of conservatism. And I am committed and dedicated to ensuring that that's how this party goes forward, and I plan to lead the fight to do that.
How concerned are you that former President Trump might end up back in the Oval Office, and what are you prepared to do to prevent it?
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office. We have seen the danger that he continues to provoke with his language. We have seen his lack of commitment and dedication to the Constitution, and I think it's very important that we make sure whomever we elect is somebody who will be faithful to the Constitution.
Last question.
Now, as we discussed several times on this show, Cheney, along with a small minority of Republicans, hope to be able to break the party away from Donald Trump's control. Now, mind you, she isn't fighting to break America free from the grip of conservatives, but she's simply trying to find a way to have the Republican Party as it is, but without Donald Trump. That notwithstanding, even their attempt to back away from Donald Trump does not appear to be going well. Here's a clip of Republican Senator Lindsey Graham stating on Fox News that regardless of what Liz Cheney thinks, the future of the Republican Party is with Donald Trump.
It's impossible for this party to move forward without President Trump being its leader, because the people who are conservative have chosen him as their leader. And you know why they chose him? Because he delivered. He was the most consequential president for national security since Ronald Reagan. He secured the border, he cut our taxes, he brought a new attitude of being an American, and the people have chosen him, not the pundits.
Now, a handful of Republicans, including Cheney, disagree with Lindsey Graham. Here's a small portion of the floor speech that Liz Cheney gave 2 days ago. And this was given in the backdrop of the entire Republican caucus, save one, walking out on her because she dared to speak against Donald Trump. Listen in.
Today, we face a threat America has never seen before. A former president who provoked a violent attack on this Capitol in an effort to steal the election has resumed his aggressive effort to convince Americans that the election was stolen from him. He risks inciting further violence. Millions of Americans have been misled by the former president. They have heard only his words, but not the truth, as he continues to undermine our democratic process, sowing seeds of doubt about whether democracy really works at all.
So, James, one of the things that I think is important about this is while this system is broken and needs to be reformed, fixed, or replaced, it can get a lot worse. And the Republican Party, underneath the leadership of Donald Trump, is just a good example of how bad this can get. Because one thing we know for sure, Donald Trump takes all of the worst things about the Republican Party. Donald Trump is everything that Liz Cheney is. Everything that Liz Cheney is that we hate and we disagree with, Donald Trump is that. But he adds on top of that this idea that he alone is worthy to control this country. Like, he really believes that he deserves to be an emperor, a king, and that a dictator, and that this country should bow before him. And because he's so popular,
yeah. Looks like we may have some technical difficulties. I'm like, wait a minute, Ben froze on me. In a good part of the conversation as well, too. So while we still waiting for Ben to get back and get situated, we'll drop a couple of gems of music for y'all.
All the greenery, close the match 'cause they were handed down to me. But I'm still fly, I know.
Somebody said it was
let's go.
A pregnancy pause for Ben.
It could all be worse. I could be a hater like you. It could all be worse. Pills to make the man, but that poison's gonna chew you from the inside out. So right now, say it with your chest now. Say it with your chest now. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here.
Wow, Nat A said she found an hour loop of this song, y'all. Woo. I know some people that really love that. And make sure that you join our social media pages. Make sure that you join our social media pages. Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook. Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, y'all.
It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to run it out. It's your time. Oh. Cheers to all the haters, 'cause you proved to me that rising to the top was my destiny. And you can see whatever from behind me, but I'm still fly. I know.
Natalie Farmer, this is Rebel Day, Still Fly. Rebel Day, Still Fly is one of the Pride's favorite. Yes, y'all. Wherever you watching that, make sure that y'all hitting that like button, share, comment, subscribe, y'all, so you know when Like It or Not is going down. And also, shout out to everybody that's on Facebook. Christy Thomas, thank you for your stars. And also, Georgia Ford. Georgia, how you doing, man? Miss you. Hope to see you soon.
It's my time to run it out. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to ride it. I'm young. I'm free.
Shout out to everybody that's on Twitch and Facebook, y'all that's streaming and watching this, y'all. Good morning, good morning.
It's my time to
y'all make sure that you stay tuned. We'll be right back. Had a couple of technical difficulties that we're getting worked out, but we'll be right back. We'll Like It or Not. So instead, you get to rock with me for a few minutes, y'all. We haven't done this in a while.
Say yeah, yeah. If you're on the train, say yeah, yeah. If you gotta walk, say yeah, yeah. Everybody's going somewhere, yeah. Young or old, I really don't care. Yeah. Life has never really been fair. Yeah. So put your fist up in the air. Yeah. Say yeah. I'm young, I'm free. Can't nobody take me here and now. It's my time to run it out. Tell them I need my money right now. I'm young, I'm free. You stay stole out my crown. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my energy, my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me. My heart is right, don't question my integrity. No, I thought we would be just fine, and I thought your heart was
like, you know what, that's true. I rarely have technical issues.
Shots, running,
but trust me, Xfinity sucks. Okay, that's all I say.
But no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saving.
Susan, I appreciate that. Melinda, good morning.
My money right now. From me did you stay stole out my crown. Yeah. Sorry to tell you, I know my value. I'm gonna recoup it. Don't waste my loyalty, my loyalty. I let you in back then because I couldn't see, but now it's clear you ain't ever been true to me. My intuition ain't ever lied, I had to leave. Handle your business.
Everybody saying that my new mic messed up the internet.
But you won't break me, God, that's my witness. That's the point of no return, I'm on a mission. Tryna block my blessings, but no need for comparisons. What's from me won't be from me. Yeah, I'ma go through just to grow through. But pay me what you owe me for, I make what you've been saying about me true. True. Tell them I need my money right now. Rob me the juice, they stole out my crown.
Antoine Simpson. Antoine said, if there is any doubt that the GOP are full of lies and racist, this show will just put out the receipts. That's right. We cannot trust these people of government anymore. We must vote their behinds out. Absolutely, Antoine. Thank you for your super chat. We appreciate you. Brother Chuck Diesel, good morning.
Chillin' at the crib, but I think I'm about to step outside. Calling on my friends, thinking what I wanna do tonight. I just wanna be somewhere, I wanna lose my mind.
Hey, Susan, you are right. I can do this in my sleep. This is what I made you do. I was born to do this. And now y'all done messed around and got me a new microphone. I'm about to cut up. Y'all won't see me.
It's Christmas, I be on your wish list. Know you wanna kiss this. Summertime, don't lie.
Chuck Diesel, Brother Latif. Bryce, what's going on, y'all? Mark S. Mark from Australia, good morning.
With my girls, all the boys wear when they pass by. All around the world, it's the same thing every time. Yeah. Got me some shining like it's Christmas. I be on your wish list. Know you wanna kiss this. Summertime, don't lie. If you're thirsty, it's okay. I can read every day. Boys line up around the corner. Wait. For my lemonade. Wait.
Yes, Truth the Dragon, that's dope as hell. Shout out to everyone overseas. We appreciate y'all. Two mics.
We in the game, we let it rain. That black and white, they ain't gang. Please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell them pump it up, then that pumping up the jeans. I was walking up, the fireworks, I keep the flame. Pumping up, it's the palm tree, I got the strength. Yeah, I'm charging up.
Lord, good morning, Nat A, Nat M, good morning.
Pull up and I'm swerving. If a try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under buzz like a Persian. We been staying in our lane, ain't no merging. Rapping like I'm turban. Yeah, these all square like
Esther, good morning, Laura, good morning.
In the hood, no suburban.
Brother Chuck, man, I keep telling you. I can do it now. Like it or not, it's not responsible for any broken dishes, furniture, or anything else while you listen to the show. Generally, the DJ exclusive. Anything that you incurred or any damage that you have are the responsibility of you, yourself, and I.
But we really with the lame. Always gonna be reaching for they hit, smoking like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, they ain't gang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that be poking out.
Lavelle M, yes I did.
The fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you parking up. It's the wrong tree, I got the strength. Yeah, I'm charging up.
Ref 1984, I appreciate that.
Trying to put the face to the name. I'm in flex mode with the best, though. That's a major key, that's a chess mode. I'm your favorite G, I think it's best, yo. Stop with all the grilling, I'm on jet fuel. Taking off, clear the runway, now they cannot clip my wings. Yeah, they soft, they ain't homie, they ain't even on the scene. Play it smart, they don't know me, they just know what they see. What it costs to get flea, but this style it ain't free. This that swag, this that splash, one wrong move, that's do the dash, keep it stash, just in case they tryna flash. Never
somebody said being called in.
I was running back, I don't brag, I'm relaxed, I'm not into all of that, yeah. It's really just the fam and my dogs, I just gotta make a call, I ain't into all that chatting, not at all. Yeah, I put that on the squad, we been out here going hard, we on deck, please don't make them. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain, please don't start us up. Got that black and white, they ain't gang.
When I tell y'all I love y'all in this chat, man, y'all to keep me going all day. Y'all know what it is. Y'all hear the music.
He's a man and he's taking it to the streets, just doing what he's able. In the day, to provide for his family and put food on the table.
It's cold outside, but the package is high.
He's gotta make a pickup without no pickup. Stay smooth and make it back to the spot.
Vividly etched in my mind like filigree. Visions of a gritty street, living so my kid can eat. I'm chilling deep.
Shout out to everybody that's on Twitch. Good morning, y'all. I'm here with y'all. Good morning, good morning.
The message clear my head like antihistamines. Time to do my job. Consider me the man of mystery, the secret agent. And you're the boss is known to be impatient. She need the package. She says it's so close she can taste it. I saw the look in her eyes. I was unsurprised. Ain't nothing new. Already been through this 100 times. She can't settle. Hunger strong enough to smash metal. So I slide in the driver's seat and mash the gas pedal. Blast off across the asphalt like NASA shuttles.
Lavelle, you know I got you. Justice Dragon. Good morning, Justice Draconis. Let me get the name right. Good morning.
He's a man and he's taking it to the streets, just doing what he's able. In the day, to provide for his family and put food on the table.
It's cold outside, but the package is hot.
He's gotta make a pickup without no hiccup. Stay smooth and make it back to the spot.
Yo, I'm never rushing. On time every time, no discussion. Moon shines down like it knows something. I hope it doesn't. I'm at the pickup spot that got the best product. Package in the back of the restaurant. The chef's got it. I step inside, he approach me slowly. No words needed, only a nod because the homie knows me. My cash is counted.
Shout out Goku, good morning.
It go down slick as a magic trick. Call me Gandalf. Now I'm back on the street. Bag full of heat in the passenger seat. And I'm gnashing my teeth. I feel the hunger too, but I stay loyal. Gotta get the package.
Dwayne, I think I missed you. What you say, sir?
Blood boil. It's covered in foil, wrapped up tight. The only thing to satisfy her appetite, she gotta have it right. My love for her is crazy. I'll make it back safely and watch her face light up because it's that tasty.
All right, y'all. Looks like we have been back. Real quick, Sammy Ann the Kind Dragon says, honestly, how does anyone wake up without Bubba? I know. I don't know how they do this. I don't know either. But Ben, you're back, brother. Looking good, man.
I'm back, good. Man. Whew. Boy, that was a hard reset. Shout out to.
Did we? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought I was. I might be gone. Shoot, am I here? I feel like I'm stuck in the Matrix. Am I here?
You're here. You're glitching.
I'm here.
Maybe it's the salmon. It's the salmon that you got. It's on.
I saw somebody said it was your the new microphone we got is
right.
what's throwing me off. Oh man,
somebody said you had to go siphon internet from the trunk real quick.
In a minute, I'm about to bootleg some internet off my neighbors or something. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's probably the entire neighborhood at this juncture. It happens about once a quarter. We see something like this happening on our side. But anyway, I digress. I don't even know where we were. I think we were talking about Liz Cheney, and we got basically everything we need to say about that out. It's a whole mess. I mean, I could work my way back into that story, but everybody gets the gist. James, thank you for holding it down, man. I was in here. Of course, I had my cell data, so I was listening as you were rocking it out. And so we appreciate you getting the people moving. Because honestly, quiet as it's kept, most of the people in the chat room come for you anyway. So I'm just a sideshow.
Whatever, man. You know, they love them some Ben and Rebecca, boy.
Oh, man. So let's just talk really quickly about Rahm Emanuel. Joe Biden has picked Rahm Emanuel for the Japanese ambassadorship. Now, sources say Biden plans to nominate Emanuel later this month. Emanuel previously served as former mayor of Chicago, where he faced scandal for his handling of the Laquan McDonald murder case. He also served as President Barack Obama's first chief of staff, and as a congressman for Illinois. 100% opposed to this nomination. Rahm Emanuel has been weaseling his way into any position that he could get in the Biden administration, and it looks as though Biden is acquiescing and going to give him the ambassadorship to Japan. That said, Rahm Emanuel does not need to be anywhere near anything that Americans do because of the role that he played, not only in the Obama administration, which we can go into great detail, but specifically as his time as mayor of Chicago. He actively suppressed the release of the video of the murder of Laquan McDonald, who was shot 17 times by police officers. He was unarmed and he was gunned down by the police. And Mayor Rahm Emanuel at the time was up for re-election. Rahm Emanuel knew that if this video came out, that he would not be reelected as the mayor of Chicago. And so what did he do? He actively participated in the suppression of that video, and it was not released until after the election, after he won re-election as mayor of Chicago. So to me, this is a slap in the face from Joe Biden, because of all the people the black community has opposed in terms of his administration, of all the people that we wanted to ensure never got a position in this administration, Joe Biden decided to go ahead and nominate Rahm Emanuel for this position. Now, that said, James, this doesn't mean that he's going to get approved. We've seen other nominees of Joe Biden that did not get approved, and this is one of those that I think we all need to oppose with everything that we have, because he should not get rewarded. Rahm Emanuel's slimy, weaselly ass should not get rewarded with an ambassadorship after he actively used the murder of Laquan McDonald and suppressed the video so that he could get reelected. And I'm just honestly, man, like this is one of those things that, you know, as much as I have approved of some of the things that Joe Biden has done, the bailout package, cool. Everybody got their $1,400 checks. Great. The different things that he's been willing to walk back on, like he's opened up the number of refugees that the United States is going to accept. Right. At first he wasn't, but then we put pressure on him, and Joe Biden particularly, he heard us. So it's so far it's been decent. right? But this Rahm Emanuel thing is really going to push us into a place where we're going to have to oppose Joe Biden, because this appointment is specifically a slap in the face of not only the black community, but anybody who's tired of police brutality across this country, man. And all of this coming in the summer, in the wake of the George Floyd murder last year, but the Derek Chauvin conviction this year, the Dante Wright murder, right? There's just too many things going on in this country for Joe Biden to appoint someone like Rahm Emanuel, who literally has had his hands on the injustices that happen in the black community. And I don't know about you, man. I'm not really feeling this one at all. It's actually going to be a problem if he gets this position. It's going to be a problem. So
you're right. You know, it's Biden's been making some questionable decisions on some of these cabinet positions. So
yeah.
I just hope. And the
thing. It's a mixed bag, right? But this Rahm Emanuel is a stain. Rahm Emanuel is a sleazeball stain on this administration, on this country. And in fact, if I want to go back a little bit further, Rahm Emanuel is the person who actively, and I got the book behind me somewhere, it's called Confidence Men. In the book, they outline how Rahm Emanuel ignored what Barack Obama wanted to do in 2009. In 2009, in reaction to the collapse of the economy, everybody remembers the collapse of the economy, 2008, 2009, where they bailed out the banks. Barack Obama's move as president was going to be to break up the banks. And in the book Confidence Men, it stated that when Barack Obama went out of he left a meeting with his cabinet, and he left that meeting to go do something else presidential, whatever he went to do. The discussion on the table was whether or not they were going to move forward with breaking up the banks. Rahm Emanuel, after Barack Obama left the room, this is how Weasley this little slime ball is. He was the one who let the cabinet members know, and everyone in that particular meeting, that they were absolutely not going to do that, and that they were going to walk Barack Obama back from that decision. And that's ultimately what happened. So Rahm Emanuel has been a henchman for corporate lobbyists, for corporate interests, all of his career. And as mayor of Chicago, not only was he this henchman for corporate interests to the detriment of all Americans, but he also actively used the death of Laquan and suppressed the release of the video of Laquan McDonald. So if there's anybody that Joe Biden needs to keep away from his administration, it is Rahm Emanuel, because he has only one interest, and that is his own self-interest. I want to go a little bit further with some other news. Brian Kemp here in the state of Georgia. And this is another one of those stories where I have to start with this caveat, right? Because Brian Kemp is also a scumbag. And he's also the type of person who, while he was Secretary of State running for governor, he actively suppressed the votes of hundreds of thousands of African Americans here in the state of Georgia. But a broken clock can be right twice. Georgia's Governor Kemp signed a repeal of the state's Civil War era 1863 citizens arrest law in the wake of the Ahmaud Arbery murder. According to ABC News, quote, under the repeal, people who were mere bystanders or witnesses generally no longer have the right to detain people. Deadly force can't be used to detain someone unless it's in self-protection, protecting a home, or preventing a forcible felony. The this changes retain Georgia's Stand Your Ground law. I'm going to read that again. The changes retain Georgia's Stand Your Ground law, which says a person who is being threatened isn't required to retreat. But the reason this is tied to Ahmaud Arbery is because the justification that the three men who murdered Arbery used was that they were using this law, the right to citizens arrest. And at the signing of the bill, you can see it on your screen, Ahmaud Arbery's mother was there, and she regretted and she lamented the fact that this was having to be accomplished in the wake of her son being murdered by these three men that you see on your screen now. But it has been an excuse in the state of Georgia for so many people to feel like they have the authority to decide, to look at a situation and say that they are qualified enough to determine that there's a crime being committed and that they have the right to hold that person as a citizen arrest until authorities get there. The problem is, James, is that we see, like in the case of Ahmaud Arbery, how this impacts black people. Because these white Georgians felt, those three men felt that Ahmaud Arbery was doing something wrong and killed him. And it's not as though, I was talking with Georgia Fort last night on her show, it's not as though, and this is something that she brought up, it's not as though this law applied the same to black folks. Because how many black folks you know are out here making citizens arrests and holding a white person at gunpoint until the police come? Right. We can't get away with that.
Can't do it.
Especially not in the state of Georgia. we can barely get away with open carry in open carry states. You know, like we exercise our Second Amendment right, and black folks, we get killed for it. So, you know, while Brian Kemp is still someone who needs to absolutely be voted out of office, this is the right move on this particular bill because it comes directly from it's a vestige of slavery. It is what white Southerners, and particularly here in Georgia, it is what they used to apprehend and catch black people and to hold us because they saw themselves as arbiters of the law, and we are merely just the villains that they had to catch, man. So it's I'm amazed that we're still fighting against. No, I'm not. Let me rephrase that. Right. Isn't it crazy? Let me rephrase it. Isn't it wild, James, that we're still literally fighting against legislation that comes directly from slavery? This is an 1863 law, man.
And that's really crazy because just think about what other laws that are in there. That's some stuff that we may not even know about, bro. So it's really crazy that here it is in the year our Lord 2021. We are just now repealing a law from 1863. Y'all let that sink in.
Let that sink in.
Let that
seriously
sink in.
And everybody wants to tell you, oh, slavery was so long ago. Nah, bro, we just got rid of the law, slavery
we just
law.
got rid of the law, bro.
And you think about it, they talk about, oh, the civil rights movement and Jim Crow, that was so long ago. No, it's not, because we're still having a hard time getting lynching outlawed on the federal level, right?
That part,
I mean, you really think about it, you know, my grandparents, hell, my parents, my birth certificate says Negro. My 1980 birth certificate has Negro on it. So, I mean, I was going to say my parents. Yeah, my parents were alive during Jim Crow. Yeah, my grandparents were alive in Jim Crow. You know what I mean? My great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents were slaves. My birth certificate, bro, says Negro on it. But they want us to feel like all this is just a thing of the past. You know what I mean? They want us to think that all this is
crazy.
Nah. Anyway, let's do this. We're going to get ready to go to the after party. We're going to cover a couple more stories. Rebecca's going to join us in the after party. You can go to patreon.com/like it or not to get access to become a patron and get access to the after party. If you are a patron of the Benjamin Dixon Show, patreon.com/the BPD Show, you already get access to everything that we're doing on Like It or Not. And if you are a Twitch subscriber, you also have that link in your email now to come over and join us at the after party. James, I know you've been holding it down while I was gone, so I don't know if you got a whole lot more to say to them, but if you do, go ahead and say it, bro. And let's take it to the after party. What you think?
Yeah, I'm down with it. I do want to say thank y'all so much for tuning in and watching us and checking us out. Me and my new microphone, as I'm getting used to it. I still don't know what to do with my hands, but now I still feel like I'm the hardest working man in show business and doing my deep voice like this. No problem. Let's stop. Now I sound better than Dwayne. Now hi, Dwayne. Now you don't get the spotlight no more.
Wait. Hang on. Let's do this real quick. Let's do a microphone check. Dwayne, say hello to the people, and then James, you take us to break to the party.
Good morning, people. I see Bubba trying to steal my shine, but I will not let it happen. Bubba, I will mute your mic first before you.
Damn. That's all right, Dwayne. I'm still gonna get him though. Okay. What you want to do, brother? Give me my goddamn microphone. That's all right, man. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna pull up, bro. Let me stop.
Oh man. I'm not even gonna try. Now y'all catch me after we have partaken in some stuff. Then it always drops down. You ever notice? When you're how can you say? Because I don't want to be too. When you're high, let's go. When you're high, everything drops by a couple of octaves, and you be like, "Hey, right." Let's go to the after party. Rebecca's joining us in the after party. We'll see y'all in a couple seconds. Patreon.com, like it or not.
Yes, y'all. Make sure that you go join Patreon.com, Patreon.com/like it or not, Patreon.com/like it or not. You want to keep this thing going? You want to keep it looking how it's looking? Patreon.com/like it or not, Patreon.com/like it or not, y'all. And also make sure that you follow all the social media pages, Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, Like It or Not Show on Instagram and Facebook, y'all. Let's get it to the after party. Let's go.
Now I'm on the verge of a meltdown. I should have known when I met her back at Midtown, at Dogwood, when I was going through a rough patch, but it's all good. I even told about the dark times I had in childhood when we was driving off of I-10 in Kirkwood. Now all that time I never get it back. You wanted that, used to hate but I didn't want to hang. I noticed that, used to talking about your ex Jake with your next Jack. Used to messing with them white boys, now she went black. Wait a minute, guess you went and got yourself a real life.